So as you guys know, inflation is here, right? We're officially in a recession. GDP growth has been going down. And, I'll get a marker for that so they can see. But let's say you have $100,000 saved, right? We know inflation is somewhere between, it's been floating around at, 8%, 9%. And then if you look at shadow stats, it's actually higher than that. But we're going to go ahead and use a nice round number, 10% inflation. That means you have $90,000 in purchasing power. Okay, so you lost 10K in this scenario. This is where a lot of, people put themselves. They might have some cash that they're sitting on in the bank, Bank of America, giving them almost no interest. Even Ali Bank, which is like, less than 1% nowadays, which used to give 2% returns. Even if you're in a high yield interest savings account, it's still not going to, hedge against inflation. All right. So if you put your money in a bank, this is basically where you're going to be. This is the reason why they say cash is trash. All right. So $100,000, 10% inflation. That's going to mean that you have $90,000 as far as purchasing power goes. You lost 10K. Now, let's say you take that $100,000 and you invest it into real estate and you go ahead and you buy a $500,000 house. Well, 100K is 20%. You put up that 20%. The bank gives you the other 80%, which is 400K. And then bang, next thing you know, you're able to purchase this $500,000 home. Okay. This $500,000 home is a duplex, triplex, whatever it may be. It's an asset. Okay. Because we know real estate on average almost always appreciates. Now, with 10% inflation, right, that means home prices are also going to go up, right? So we can go ahead and say that the house, right, just for easy number purposes, appreciates 10%, okay? So it appreciates 10% right here. We got $500,000, right? It goes up 10%. Now it goes up to $550,000. So you gained $50,000 in equity in the home. However, you only put 20% down of this. You only put 100K down. So you just gained a 50% return, guys. Okay. You take $100,000, right? Because if you had put this $100,000 in the bank and just let it sit there, you lose $10,000 of buying power. However, you invested into real estate, $100,000, right? 20%, you're able to go ahead and buy a $500,000 home. Okay. You only put up 100. The bank gives you 400. That house appreciates over 10%. Okay, over 10% with the inflation, it goes up to $550,000. You gained $50,000 in equity. However, you only put $100,000 down, so you got a 50% return on your money. You're not going to get that on the fucking stock market. You're not going to get that in any other asset class, really, except if you get lucky with some kind of shitcoin. And at that point, if you don't sell it at the right time, you don't trade it at the right time, whatever the hell it is, volatile market, you might lose that opportunity. But not only did you gain this equity, okay, you're also cash flowing. You're also getting tax benefits. And then on top of that, as the house appreciates, you could do something called a cash out refinance. When you do that cash out refinance, guess what happens? That's a non-taxable event. In that non-taxable event, you pull out that equity. Let's say you want to pull out this extra 50K that you may have gained or $100,000. You're able to pull LVT, right? LTV, 75 to 80% of whatever you gained, right? Of the total value of the home. Bam. Now you can go ahead and take that money and do this again. Take another 100K. And then go buy another house, which will give you more tax benefits. And keep in mind, guys, when you depreciate the house for tax purposes, you're able to depreciate the purchase price, the whole $500,000, not what you actually put down, which was only $100,000. So this is an example, guys, where you take $100,000, you invest into real estate, and then even with inflation hurting the power of the dollar and the purchasing power, you win because you invested into an asset that's appreciating over time. And instead of losing $10,000, you gained $50,000. Okay. This is why real estate is the fastest and most efficient way to build wealth, and why 90+% of millionaires make their money from real estate, guys. Not to mention all the tax benefits that come, the cash flow, the appreciation, the ability to cash out, refinance, and have a non-taxable event. This is how the rich stay rich, guys. All right.
And you know what? You don't learn this in school, man.
They're not going to teach you this shit in school.
Oh, bro.
They're not. They're going to teach you how to be a bigger and better employee so you can make someone else fucking rich. Okay, guys? Real talk. You guys want to know why I talk shit on the internet? I don't give a fuck, because I own 8 of these properties, so I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. And if they try to cancel me, oh, okay, well, it is what it is. But the point is, guys, is that you want to be able to have that security. And this is why it's so important to invest, guys. No other asset class is going to give you the tax benefits, the cash flow, and the ability to have that freedom. But you know how you're going to get real estate deals like this? Credit. You're not going to be able to get a house putting 20% down, right? And get the bank giving you 80% of the money with a shitty credit score. It ain't going to fucking happen, guys. Okay. And if you buy this house cash, Well, guess what? You just took an L because you didn't use any leverage. So if you took $500,000 and you bought it in cash, well, you lose in this case because that money could have been used to spread out among different houses. Okay, this is the power, guys, of leverage and putting down the bare minimum required to control the asset, and then you're able to reap the real benefits. Okay, so inflation helps you when you're a real estate investor versus hurting everyone else like it does, because this is a hard asset. It's not a liquid asset like crypto, like the stock market, like index funds, etc. When you have a hard asset, you know, concrete, steel, and all the other stuff that's in real estate, and you're able to put tenants in it, that's a hard asset, and you're able to actually gain as inflation goes up. Yep. Okay, guys, this is probably one of the best hedges against inflation. So this scenario right here shows you guys the power of investing in real estate and getting good debt. Yes, you're in 400K debt, but you're gaining, and you have tenants paying this off for you. So it's a win-win. But it gives you the freedom, guys, to really like kind of live life on your own terms, man. Inflation helps me because I'm not putting down the entire amount, guys. Remember, you're using the power of leverage. You're using other people's money to control the asset. That's the whole key. You're doing the bare minimum to get the asset under your control, to get the tax benefits and the cash flow. And then the bank or the institution, whoever you borrow from, goes ahead and gives you the money to procure that.